Hey guys, it's TheAndySan here, doing this week's N-FAQs. Now, before I begin this week's N-FAQs, I'd like to remind everybody that starting February 1st, all questions asked from February 1st and beyond, I will start giving shout-outs and mentioning names and linking to YouTube pages, because I like to give a little bit of link love to the people that are asking me all these wonderful questions. So just keep in mind, if you would choose to remain anonymous, just say in your message or whatever that, you know, I'd like to remain anonymous. Just something to think about. But I'd like to promote, you know, fellow YouTube users. So, and there's some users out there who have a lot of really good videos. So I'd like to kind of help, you know, build a subscriber base with those guys too. But without further ado, let's begin this week's N-FAQs. Keep in mind it's a little sunny out, so that's why I'm squinting, because it's kind of hard to see what's on here. But let's begin regardless. Hey Andy, I have a question. I go to RTC in like 3 months, and I'm confident for the most part. I can do all the physical stuff like push-ups, sit-ups, and the 1.5 miles. But I'm concerned about getting a minor injury at boot camp and being sent home. A lot of deppers from my recruiting station have had this happen to them as of late, and I don't want that to happen to me. Also, I've heard of people getting booted for dumb reasons. During a DEP meeting about a month ago, we had a recent A school grad doing recruiting assistance, and he said one guy got sent home because he sold a cookie to someone. Yeah, apparently he was the chaplain's assistant. Well, I guess what my question is, what are some of the reasons recruits were kicked out of your division, and how many? And can you give me any tips on how to avoid getting kicked out? I really don't want to get kicked out. So, this is what I said. Hey, thanks for the email. Appreciate it. We had about 10 to 15 people get kicked out of our division for one reason or another, mostly due to medical or disciplinary reasons. However, only a couple of them actually got sent home. For example, while we were getting beat me and doing like jumping jacks, 8 counts, mountain climbers, that sort of thing, my section leader severely injured his right leg. He stayed with us for about 2 weeks after that, but ultimately he couldn't continue with us and was sent to Ship 6 for physical therapy, in hopes that he would get better and be able to finish boot camp. But the injury was too much, so he was medically discharged. The bright side is that he can re-enlist a year after his discharge date if he's fit for full duty. Another example of people getting kicked out of our division that comes to mind is when we had 4 guys, 2 of them section leaders, get ASMO'd, which means set back in training, usually about 2 to 3 weeks in most cases. But they got ASMO'd because they drew explicit material on people's books. It was a seemingly innocent prank, but someone was so offended by it that he filed a sexual harassment complaint against them, so appropriate actions were taken. Before they left, they admitted to the division what they did and apologized. Oddly enough, I caught my own rack mate bringing back cookies from Chow. He was a chaplain's assistant too. Smart wool, huh? Initially, I didn't want to say anything because I didn't want him to be mad at me and label me a snitch, but I knew that it would only get worse, so I told my chief about it in private, and he handled it accordingly. His increasingly bad behavior eventually got him ASMO'd, and the last I heard about him was that he was discharged for malingering, which means faking an illness or injury. And in his case, it was like an ear infection or something. I don't know. Although my rackmate hated me and called me a snitch anyway, everyone else said that I did do the right thing, and I think they began to respect me more for that. Ultimately, your career in the Navy depends on you and your actions. If you take care of your shipmates and do what you're told, then your RDCs will do everything they can to keep you with the division. If you think that this is just another job and you only care about yourself and turn out a poor performance, then don't expect your RDCs to help you out when you're in trouble. I remember when I failed my final PFA by 5 push-ups. My chief ran with me during the 1.5 mile run, and although my time was abysmal, I think it was 13:13, he saw that I was doing my best even though I had failed my PFA because of the push-ups, and gave me the chance to try again a couple days later. I passed and even got a better run time as well at 13:07. When it comes to injuries in boot camp, it all depends on the extent of the injury. If it's just some boot rash, don't freak out about getting ASMO'd. Just put some powder on it and you'll be good to go. As I said before, if the injury is extensive enough that it'll take more than 2 weeks to heal, then you'll most likely be set back in training and possibly discharged. However, in most cases, you'll be able to re-enlist after a year's time, along with a clean bill of health. Once again, thanks for the email, and good luck. So yeah, this is TheAndySan, signing off for now. Thank you guys once again for all the questions, all the emails, comments, views, subscriptions, all that good stuff. All this wouldn't have been possible without you guys helping me out. I'd just like to thank you guys for doing what you're doing, and keep on keeping on. And as always, we'll see you next time. Bye guys.